Happy lunch hour, guys. All right, road trip. One of those where I wanted to run to town and get a whole bunch of things I need before the prices of everything go crazy, or crazier, I guess, if you will. Driving through past the gas station there, $4.29 a gallon right there, $4.99 for diesel. So, yeah, my concern is the diesel price, not that I don't have diesel vehicles, but that means the price of everything else goes up. If you see in the back, I got a bunch of 2x6x8s. I've got a project I've got to finish at home and need some more lumber. $15 a board. Yay. All right. And I don't have any choice but to finish this, so I can't wait for prices to go down or anything. But so my other stop here this morning was at the feed store. And the reason being is we're supposed to have a really, really fast cold spell come through here today, or tomorrow, over the weekend. It's supposed to be 68 degrees here today, guys. All right. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, it is supposed to get down to 11. And we are supposed to potentially get snow. Okay, mid-March in Tennessee, snow. All right. Well, y'all know I've already planted my peas outside because they were ready to go, and when I planted them 2 weeks ago, or almost 2 weeks ago, weather forecast looked fine. And now we have this one blip of cold to come in. So rather than losing all the peas and everything that I put in, I figure, okay, I got to insulate these things somehow. And I figured I'd go to the store and get some straw to put over the peas and then cover them over with a sheet to keep them from freezing. Don't know if it'll work, but it's worth a shot. So I went to the feed store and looked in the barn there. There was next to nothing in the barn. So I asked the guy, I says, got any straw? I just need one bale of straw. And he goes, no. He goes, let me check. So comes back a couple of minutes later. He goes, I might have some tomorrow. I'm like, might? He goes, yeah. He goes, can't rely on anybody to work anymore. He goes, I have no idea if somebody's going to show up with it or whatever. Gas prices, people just don't want to work, etc., etc. He had about 10 bales of hay. Now, not that hay is what I want to use, but I don't have any choice. Right? Difference, of course, between hay and straw is now I would have the seeds in my garden. And fortunately, where I'm putting it over the peas are already up, so I'll sprinkle some preen in there and try to kill the hay from germinating if there's anything there, and let the rest of it just decompose and turn into more compost in there. But this is the point. This is where we're getting to, where people can't afford to go to work at $4.25 gas, right? You know, you think about somebody in Tennessee, minimum wage, if I'm not mistaken, is $7.50. You know, a lot of these places paying $8-9 or whatever it is now. But you figure you have to work an hour a day at minimum wage just to pay gas to go back and forth to work, roughly. I'd say you use a gallon of gas to go each way to work. 2 gallons of gas, $8. And now you got to work an hour to pay for it. So 12% of your gross income is going to get you to work. This is what I was telling you about back in 2008, 2009 when I was a recruiter up in Fort Wayne, and people were telling me, no, I'm not going to work. I'm not taking that job. It's not worth it to me to drive 25 miles or whatever to go to work because I've still got to pay daycare or whatever, which is going up. The gas prices are killing us. This is the other thing that is going to whack us in prices, is not only is it going to be harder to find things and things more expensive just by the cost of everything and inflation, but now you're going to have the situation where scarcity because the places can't get people to work. You know, if there's nobody to load a truck, nobody to unload a truck, nobody to drive the truck because it's too expensive, the farmer's not going to go out and cut the hay as often because of the price of gas. You know, cut straw or pick vegetables or whatever it would be. The prices of everything are going to go through the freaking roof. Now, like I said this morning, the administration has no idea how to handle this. It was kind of funny yesterday listening to Biden come up and say, oh, Putin's inflation. Like, the war in Ukraine has been going on for 2 weeks. But for the first year plus of Biden's presidency, he tried to blame inflation on CV. Now, because CV has pretty much gone by the wayside, it was nice going into the hardware store here, and they removed all the plexiglass dividers finally. They didn't have to wear masks or anything, but they still had those pieces of shit up. But now, now that COVID's over, who's the next to blame? Now, let's blame Putin. The reason that the prices of lumber are high is because of Putin. The reason the price of food is high is because of Putin. The reason the price of gas is high is because of Putin. No, okay? The reason is because the complete, utter mismanagement of the U.S. economy by this administration, the Federal Reserve, the U.S. Treasury, everybody, that you get, Jerome Powell, Janet Yellen, the entire administration is screwing things up. A lot of you guys have said this is all planned. And I have a tendency to agree with you. Like I said, Trudeau drew the short straw, to see how martial law would be. Putin drew the short straw to see how armed conflict would be, whatever would be. And it's a stretch, but it's still a possibility. And there's so many things that have been a stretch lately that turn into reality rather than possibility. It's everything is going to get more and more and more expensive. It's not just gas, it's not just food. It's going to be tennis shoes, clothing, towels, you name it. Harder to find and more expensive when you do. Guys, I'm imploring everybody, go through any projects that you have that you're planning on doing this summer. Go get the materials now if you have any sort of inclination to get the project done. Even if the stuff's got to sit there in the garage, on the back patio, in the living room for the next 3 months till you get to the project, fine, because the material that you're going to need down the road is going to be more expensive than it is today. There's no question about that. When Yellen comes up and says inflation's going to continue throughout 2022, believe that, okay? The only time I won't believe them is when they tell me things are getting better, because they sure as hell aren't. So, just a little information from the field there as to what I saw this morning. Let's see what this gas station's at. 438. Okay. All right. So, that's where we stand, guys. Have a good one. Pinball out.